Real talk. I feel lost. When grounding and trying to recalibrate, I connect back with the present moment and get curious as to what direction am I even going in? Reflecting back and seeing where the trail has taken me so far, I'm grateful for all of the lessons that have prepared me for this present moment. And although there are continuous challenges that arise, I trust that they're all for a reason, for to be a part of our transformation process. And something that was present today was I was listening to a meditation on YouTube, and naturally there was an ad in the middle of the meditation for something that was personally triggering for me. And it makes me question and wonder, how do we use technology for wellness when we just get sucked back into this consumerism loop that we're not good enough? And my personal belief system is that, quote, I am not good enough, quote. And that's something that I have been addressing and uncovering and peeling back the layers around in therapy for years. And what occurred to me recently is that there wasn't one specific thing or incident that happened that planted this seed of not being good enough. However, it's the subliminal, subconscious messages that have surrounded me in my life, in my community, society, my digital world, and beyond. And it's through those reinforcements that I then have taken that belief system and it's become a loop in my head. And something that I love from Gabby Bernstein is our comeback rate to love. We all have these challenges. There are always going to be things that arise in our minds. However, it's our comeback rate once we notice that it's happened. How can we come back to love, come back to the present moment? And that is the muscle that we're building. So as we're in the gym building these muscles of awareness, I'm curious how we can come from this place of love and create new possibilities to use technology in a way that enhances our enlightenment. So through reflecting on this, it really makes me want to delete the YouTube app. And then I'm like, well, YouTube's owned by Google, so what about my Gmail? And all of the other things. And speaking of Gmail, the way that their storage is configured has my storage completely full. And they make it very challenging to delete my emails and duplicate photos and all of the things. It's like they're hoarding my digital dust on purpose, so I have to pay for it. And I hope that there is a more transparent business model in the future, because I'm happy to spend money when it makes sense, not when I'm being manipulated or pigeonholed into having all of this digital clutter and needing to spend money for it. And it's very similar as to what Apple does with their iCloud storage, which is why on all of my Apple devices, they're completely full. And it makes me sad, because how can we collect our memories without hoarding this digital clutter and having a gazillion photos of one thing because of the configuration of their settings? So at dinner the other night, my mom asked this question to recent graduates, wondering in 20 years, what companies do you think will be out of business? And their first response was Apple. And as much as I honor and appreciate Steve Jobs and all that he created, the world we are evolving in is changing so rapidly, so quickly. And from what I have personally experienced with Apple, it's the iMessage that people love, the community of, we have these blue message bubbles and you're in the in group and I get to send you voice notes and the emojis and all the stuff. You get to see my red receipts. And it's that community aspect that keeps us hooked. And although I did change to a Surface laptop 2 years ago, I still was getting ridiculed that I didn't have iMessage on my computer and I couldn't do AirDrop and all the in-group things. And as I reflect on all of these new technologies, I get curious as to how can we step outside of this box? There is no box. Why are we constraining ourselves? And how can we use technology to literally flourish freely? Imagine if your device was your partner in purpose, on purpose, that supported you by keeping you on track with your goals and checking in as to what your intentions are to use your technology. If you would like to meditate and listen to music without commercials, and then reminding you when it's time to switch tasks so you don't get too entrenched with one thing. So I'm going to continue imagining this from a heart-centered place until it happens. And something that I've been personally overcoming is letting go of the belief that I need to be using all of these tools 24/7 to be in the conversation. I am courageously pushing the limits, the envelope, the everything, so we can step outside of this box and create beyond. So this real talk, stream of consciousness conversation is recorded out in East Marion, looking at the Peconic Bay, listening to the boats drive by, and looking at the lighthouse, remembering that we are all lighthouses, and our light shines the way for others to illuminate their own paths. And I trust that we are all here for a reason, for a bigger purpose. And I choose not to make myself small to fit in anymore. And when those challenging thoughts come back, which they always do, I will continue strengthening my comeback rate. And I look forward to comparing notes and tips and tricks as to how we can ease our way through this transformation process, adapting and evolving together. Namaste.